Hey, what's good, YouTube? Lit like Jade. Hey, yeah, I'm about to do a real quick tutorial on a self haircut. So it's quarantine. Everybody's stuck in the house, can't get their stuff cut down or cut. So I'm gonna show y'all a quick little way to cut. I'm gonna do a little fade, like slash Mohawk type little haircut. So check it out. First, you wanna get the length you get.
So, what I'm gonna do in this video is, like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna be doing like a Mohawk type taper type style haircut. So I'm gonna start the process by getting the length that I desire. So whatever length you use, in my case I'm using the 2. My hair is thin, so I don't really go lower than that, and I go with the grain. If you want waves or you're trying to get waves, it's best to go with the grain, because it's easy to cut out your waves if you go against. So you just go over each space approximately 2 times, you know what I'm saying, just to get it more detailed. And if you have any thin areas, you probably want to just go over that spot one good time, because it can create it to be even thinner if the more you go over it. And for some people, I don't really have a beehive type of swirl in the back. Mine kind of goes crazy in the back. I don't know where that came from, but I can't get it to beehive for nothing. So if you got a beehive or whatever direction your swirl goes, that's the way that you would like to cut your hair, in the same motion. Do not go against the grain. You will definitely cut a plug in your head. Yeah, so once you got it to a length that you desire, the next part of your haircut for fades or tapers, you want to create your balding line from where your fade is going to begin, the bottom of the fade. And always brush your hair. Keep a brush or a comb near for the best results in the haircut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 000 blade and I'm going to create a balding line. Basically a starting point. And the type of hairstyle I'm doing is more like a Mohawk, so that's why I'm going in a circular motion. So if you're doing like a fade, you want to just, make a line around your head. And if you're doing a taper, you want to make a line at the tips, in the back of wherever you're doing your taper at. So create the balding line. Make sure you get as clean as possible. Notice I left a little hair by my line because I don't want to take all the hair away. So when I create my line, I'll have something to work with. So be mindful of that. And then you just want to repeat the steps for the other side. Yeah, so once you got that done, the next step is to start chipping away at the balding line, just so it won't be so hard to get the blend in and get that line out. So I'm going to take a 1 or or a clipper, whatever clipper you have with a lever on it, with it all the way open, and I flick at that balding line. You always want to flick out, and you always want to try to use the edge of the clipper blade. And on that process, you want to go about ½ an inch or a little less than ½ an inch higher than the original balding line. This process is necessary because it's easier, like I said, to get that balding line when you get to that point of completing your fade or your blend, your taper. It's a very necessary process. See how I went about ½ an inch off of the original balding line? So next what you want to do is start getting that bulk out once you create that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come with a number 2. Since I went against the grain with the number 2, now I'm going to flick up using the corners with the number 2 going against the grain. Never dig and try to use your edges of your blade. That's the best way. The edges is your friend. That way you don't create a patch or actually dig too deep. Use that edge. And always remember to flick. When you're flicking out in an outward motion. Never a digging motion. Or you can call it scraping, however you want to call it, but make sure it's in that type of motion. So, next after that I'm going to go, I got some of the bulk out at the top. Now I'm going to go a little step lower with the lower guard. So now I'm going to the 1.5 guard to keep going at the bulk of the hair on my second fade line. But right now I'm coming down with it just to kind of trim it down a little bit before I get to flicking. It's also a good process because it helps you blend in to that fade area. See how a lot of the bulk is out? Now I'm going to continue the flicking process with the edges of my blade. And that's just a level lower than what I started with, which was the 2. And you know they also have guards that goes to whatever clippers you got, that, you know, like 1/8, 1.5, 1 3/4. So it's just, you know, you go with what you got and what you work with, and just always remember to flick out and use them corners. So you can notice that the blend is starting to come in. So once you feel like you got a lot of the bulk out, then next is when you want to use your lever, your clippers with your lever. To where those are ones which you're going to get the hard lines out, which is the balding lines and all that. Still working at the bulk. And don't get scared if you see a little dark bulky area and it looks like the fade ain't coming in, because when you take that bottom line out, it magically just blends everything in.
That's cool. Now, this is where you want to use the lever to get whatever the level you want to see.
So now,
so I'm gonna do this.
I have the masters
open
with the lever all the way open, and I'm gonna be in flicking with the edges
just flick, use that in
to take out those hard lines.
And then if it's a part where you see it went over a few times and you don't seem to cut, you just move the lever closer a little bit, and it'll solve the problem. So you just do that.
Always brush down and always flick up with the clippers. Never did. And don't be scared to use your lever if you feel like you went over an area a couple times and it's not cutting. Go ahead and go a smidget closer with your lever till you get that piece of hair that you was trying to get.
Like you blended it to the bolt pretty good. Then you want to get that original line out.
See, now I'm trying to get, I blended it in on that second line. Now I'm going to do the first original balding line. So I'm going to go in a little closer on my lever. And see how I'm right there on that line, flicking in, flicking out. And you see how it just starts to go away.
And flick, because you don't want to dig in and create another line. So you always got to flick and use them edges. So I'm going to jump back in the mirror just to see if I'm getting all those lines. That's the lever back and forth to get little spots. See, that's just for my way. That's just the way mine ain't. Ain't no chip.
So if you see anything you see, you know, you can just go back over, double check your work, and try to hit any little areas that you feel like you missed with the same process. Okay, so now I feel like the blend was pretty cool. So you just repeat the steps on the opposite side. But I did something a little different. I did a step different because my hair was kind of, long since I cut it down with a 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chip away at some of the bulkiness first before I scrape at my original hard line, which is the balding line. So I'm going to take a little of the bulk off so it'll be easier to see when I create my second line off of the hard bald line. So I'm going to use my number 2 and flick up just to drop some of that bulkiness down real quick.
Look how I always get out.
Just knocking some of the bulkiness down. Then I'm going to flick at the original balding line with the 1. Or a fading clipper with the lever all the way open. Like I said before, about a 1/2 inch up. Or a little less than a 1/2 inch up. See how I begin to create that second line? But it's not as hard as the first line.
Trust me, I'm just trying to show you guys on camera. It's not hard for you to see this camera. So sometimes I might jump in here. So I'm trying to show you guys.
This step is necessary because it gives you room to get that balding line out.
Okay, so I have to get that second line. See, about a half of an inch around the original line. Like I said, I start taking the book out more. So now I start getting the two on the book.
So now I'm going to repeat the process with the 1.5, flicking away, using the corners to get that bulk down.
Constantly brushing down so you can see the progress. Like I said, I'll come with 1.5 over the bulk area. You don't want to get too high until the hair is going to start, or the length of the root will start on the tip. So bring it down like this, 1.5, make it feed into the tip. And that's about a half of what I'm flicking.
Still a little bulk, just go right in. Keep flicking.
And I'm flicking at it, I'm not digging into it.
And if you have clippers with the lever that also has guards, don't be afraid to use them, like I'm going to show you in this video. If you feel like it's some bulk you can't get with the clippers you was using, slap a guard on there. That way you can use your lever to get closer if you need to, or come out. So since I was scraping away with my 76ers metal guard with the 1.5, I'ma slap a 1.5 the same length guard onto my lever clippers, and then I can go in and out, which creates me to be able to get closer than just the standard 1.5. They also call that guard a 0 guard for the lever clippers.
So, once you got that bulk ready pretty much down, you gotta worry about my look like you get there, you get the part here, don't worry about it. This line is gonna look like that.
But I'm gonna chip away at that line a little bit, just to begin that blending process.
Like an inch of what you started from the bottom. There you just play with the lever. You go a little bit in at a time if you don't really know, and it'll start chipping away. You'll see gravity. But I'm gonna jump to the nearest one.
I usually use a mirror, but since I was using my camera to do this video, I had to use my side mirror, so that's why I pop out of the camera for a second. But I'm doing the exact same steps that I showed you already. Okay, so now that I chipped away at that line, I still see some bulk. So this is around the time when I get my guard for my Andes clippers, which is a 0 guard, and I'm gonna start knocking out the bulk with those.
Always use your brush down like doing so you can see what you're doing. Like I said, you used to have a brush in your hand. How you trying to cut it? Or a comb, either brush or a comb. So as you can see, it's like in the rail. Just like the first side.
And always look at both sides of your hair, just so you can try to see if you're making it even or not. You don't really want to have one high fade and low fade. That ain't gonna work. So always look at the other side and try to get as close as possible to looking the same. So now I'm gonna get my zero guard, which is the 1.5, 2. We'll pop it on there, and I'm gonna be able to use my lever to get some of that bulk down that I couldn't get. And I still use the sides, use the edges of the clippers.
This is almost about the same length as the 1/2 metal guard I use, but the only difference is you gotta actually make it shorter by the lever. So you just play with the lever.
Same flicking motion. Good thing about the guards with the lever, like I said, you can go closer or go away to help you get the look you're trying to get. So now, once you feel good about the fade and the blend that you got, you want to brush it, make sure it's on point, and then you get ready for your lineup. Always brush your hair towards your line. That way you can see exactly where your line is at. And you don't want to be sweating or nothing, because those jam liners up real easy. So dry off your areas that you're about to line up.
I don't really got no fancy clippers that I like that. I got the regular T-liners, Mandy's. So usually I use like a two-way mirror, you see like right there. One that you can swing, open and close like that. You see how I look? You can see even from here. Okay, looks there.
So with me on my hairline in the front, it's a little thin. So you never want to dig into your lineup. Keep it as far out as possible. And notice when I hit the line, I hit it and I come down with a dragging motion. So you're clipping off the hairs right at the tip. So you just repeat that same step for the sides. Wherever your line is at, you hit it and you drag away. I needed to use my second mirror for my sides, so that's why I'm not in the camera. But I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm hitting the line and I'm coming away from the line. Always come away from your line when you're doing a lineup. Don't go into it. And so after you got your line, you want to hit all excess hair around it, peach fuzz or whatever. That's what makes your line stand out. So you take the excess hair off.
Clean all around it. Make that line stand up, take your time. Be careful not to nick yourself. Always use that brush. See what
now for the curves, the sides of your hair, if you have any, if you like that curved side, which I do, you always use the tips of your liners, and you will just go in a circular motion right on the tip of your hairline. And like I say, once you hit it, come away. You hit it and come away.
So you get to see a line up. So that all you two-way mirror, the curve it, so you can see the side.
And it really doesn't matter if you come downward or upward, long as you're going away from the hairline after you hit it. Because if you're going towards your hairline, one little slip or you apply too much pressure and you just gonna push yourself back. So you can see where your natural hairline is. You get right there and you come away from it. Get right there and come away from it.
My wild hair right here. But that's when we come to the next part. The next step will be. Next step we're gonna do is.
So once you got your line up going,
all the little excess hair that I don't want to be around my ball.
and you see your line and you got all the little excess hair around, you just flick up. Never go all the way up to that original balding line and see it all just disappear and blend right in. Just flick up with your liners.
See how already?
And that just cleans up all the balding areas that you didn't get with your first balding clipper.
You just want to do the same thing for the other side.
And just repeat the same steps for the other side. See, I'm using the edges of the blade.
Come over. I'm jumping up here. Check out myself.
You can ask any barber and they'll tell you the edges of your clipper is your best friend when you're cutting hair.
Curb. Definition. Get the curb down, get all this excess hair out. I got that right here. This is my flick.
Same thing, just scrape out the excess hair.
You know, when you get the ball, that's it. Just to try not to get any hair.
The edges and you flick. And always do like a flicking outward motion. You never want to dig in. So now that you got your line in, your next step is the back of your line. And it's actually the same thing. But mine is gonna be a little different because I got like a Mohawk type, Fauxhawk type of style. So I'm gonna kind of go slanted with my line. But for any tapers in the back or something like that, you just want to, wherever your line is, you want to hit it and just come away from it. Hit it and come away. I went a little in on mine just because I'm creating that Mohawk type of look in the back. But I don't want to go too far in because I usually wear tapers. So I don't want to have all type of hair growing back for when I'm trying to get my taper back. So I barely just went in with it, creating that slant motion. But always hit your line, come away, and then clean up the excess hair. The excess hair, sorry about that. It's cute saying that.
I don't do too much. I use red taper, but you know, a lot of barbers that come in, but I don't want to come in that far.
See, I hit the line and I come away. And believe me, the more mirrors you got when you're cutting your own hair, the better. Don't be afraid to pop the mirrors out so you can see every angle of your head.
But believe me, guys, just use a mirror. I'm trying to use this camera because it's tricky, so I'm just trying to be all little public hints of what I'm doing.
You know, it's quarantine time and we're all suffering from the barber shop, so it's thought I'd upload a tutorial for you guys, just so you can be decent when you go into them grocery stores and stuff like that. Never know who you might run into.
Look at that, right?
Yep, just repeat that process till you get it to where you think you got it. And always look, check your work brush, comb your hair to see where you at with it.
So you're gonna come drop in on both sides, try to get it in the center of your neck. You'll be good. And that'll be it.
See, I got that crazy swirl in the back of my hair. It always creates a part. It never just beehives for some reason. I've been trying to brush it for years. It's just like that. So
I'm not trying to go too hard because I like my tape brushes. Give this demonstration purposes on. There you go. So I'm gonna give it one more video once I lay it down. Show y'all how to game, but I'm gonna do a little something to it.
And the same thing for if you're doing a beard or a mustache. Hit the line, come away. Simple. Try not to dig and be, kind of careful, because the hair on your face is a lot coarser and a lot thinner than the hair on your head. So it's easier to chop it off. So hit the line and come away. And you should be good.
Do one more video once I lay it down. And we'll be good. That's how you get yourself a cool cut. Quarantine time by itself, you'll be good. Alright, thanks. Lit Life J.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lit Life J. So yeah, I told you I was gonna show y'all how the cut came out. The light spots, that's not like mixed. This is my hair. It's always been like that. It's thin. You know what I'm saying? From certain angles, like the light, you will see my scalp, but if you go a different angle, it get dark. See, like that? So it's just, how the light hits it, but that's how it came out. You know what I'm saying? Little taper fade type mohawk type little style. I just did something quick, something different. I usually do taper fade, so I didn't want to do too much. I need to grow I like my waves to come down on the side. I gotta start hitting them again. No, I fell off, so. But anyway, that's just a tutorial. Get with me for more videos, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? For more of the, more cuts and different things like that with Lit Life J. Get with me, bro. Alright.